As a female, do you always feel like you're failing? If so, then have a listen. I have the reason here. Hi friends, Kathleen here, Chief Wealth Creator and founder of Diamond Academy. We specialize in manifestation, law of attraction, and self-love for impact-driven entrepreneurs. I want to thank you for tuning in. And if you haven't done so already, click the bell and subscribe for updates of new content that we release every single week. Earlier this year, I got invited onto the TV show The Doctors to talk about female failure syndrome, the causes, and how to combat it. Here's the segment. Enjoy.
Women wear a lot of hats, but could a certain syndrome make women feel like failures? Female failure syndrome, or FFS, is causing women to doubt themselves at every turn and feel inadequate in a myriad of ways.
I try so hard to keep my patience with my very stubborn tween daughter, but no matter how hard I try, I seem to fail. It's tough.
Despite how I feel about putting forth 100% conscious effort, I still feel like I'm failing as a mother of 4 and a director of care through COVID.
I am a single mom of 2 beautiful girls, and I am working on my coaching business, but I feel like I'm failing. I'm not enjoying the way it's going, and I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself.
So how can women fight these feelings of failure and become fans of their amazing accomplishments instead? Joining us is manifestation coach and author of Becoming the One, Kathleen Cameron. Kathleen, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
All right, so tell us, how did you coin the term female failure syndrome? This is new to me.
I'm a manifestation coach. Primarily, my clients are females. And so I see trends, I see themes. And one thing that I see time and time again is that women are feeling like failures, and not just in one area of their life, but in all areas. So we're talking about business, being a mother, relationships with our spouses, how good we keep the house clean, in all the areas of our life. And so we know that this topic and this feeling of failure affects all areas of our life. And so it is so common, but the more we talk about it, the more we can change it.
You say that female failure syndrome comes down to masculine versus feminine energy?
Yes. So I teach a lot about a balance between both the feminine and the masculine energy. So I'm not talking about male and female, but we're talking about energy or mentalism. So we see a lot of women that want to achieve success in their lives. And so what do? They turn up their masculine energy. So they start to work harder. We start to hustle and grind. We do that action. And so we think if we do more things that we will achieve more success. We will feel better. But we have this beautiful feminine energy in us, this nurturing energy. Even when you think about the subconscious mind, which is the part of us that where our beliefs and our self-limiting beliefs live in that subconscious mind. I've heard an author refer to it as the womb of creation, the feminine energy. So if we can tap in to that and start to utilize that more, we can actually accelerate ourselves forward. And I also think that maybe some men could tap into this feminine energy a little bit more too and accelerate themselves a bit further
We're not going to disagree with you there.
Not at all. Kathleen, give us an example of how people can shift this self-defeating mindset.
The first step that I always teach my clients is awareness. So it's really tapping into and paying attention to your own thoughts. So be an observer to where do you notice that you feel like you're failing. So a beautiful example of this, one of my clients on a call one day asked, okay, my husband came home from work and he made a comment to me that the house was a mess. And it really made me feel like crap. It really made me feel like I wasn't doing enough. And it really, really upset me. And so the guidance that I gave her was that, how do you want to feel? A. And then if you don't want to feel that way, how can you change the reaction or perception inside of you? So instead of feeling shame or guilt for not cleaning up that messy house, how can you say, well, you know what? I worked really hard today. I fed our children. I worked on my business. I got to the gym. And you know what? I'm really, really proud of that. And a clean house can happen on another day. So it's changing how you perceive the comments that are outside of you instead of trying to change the person or the comments.
Kathleen, you have an action plan to stop female failure syndrome in its tracks. Tell us about that.
I love this. So there is this acronym that I use, and it's really great for this one. It's called ENOUGH. And the reason that we chose ENOUGH is because you are enough. You know, in the acronym itself, it tells you a little bit about how you can feel about your worthiness. And so the first step in this action plan is to establish right now, what areas in your life do you feel like you are failing at? If you don't observe your thinking, if you don't pay attention to your reactions in life, then you don't know what to change. So you're kind of stumped, you're kind of blocked if you don't figure that out. So the best thing to do first is to journal and pay attention to your thoughts. The second thing is to notice where these feelings come from. So where does this belief come from? Did someone tell you that it should be this way? Is it somebody else's expectation of you? Or is this a desire that you have that you're simply not meeting from within? So once we figure out where it's from, we can go a little bit deeper. So then the next step is to figure out what the ideal state is. So if you don't want to be a failure, you need to observe, what having success in all areas of your life would feel like. So what would it feel like to feel successful everywhere? There's a calmness, there's a pride, there's a knowing, there's a love and a joy. And so start to tap into that energy. The more you experience that, the more of it will come. The next step after that is to uncover whether your behavior then supports this ideal. So are you actually taking the action in your day-to-day life to accomplish that level of success? I think about going to the gym. A lot of women, they want to work out 3 days a week and then they never work out. So this is really looking at your day-to-day tasks and activity. Are they actually in alignment with what you desire? One of my favorite things to do is to generate gratitude. So this is the second last step. When you are grateful for all the small steps that you make every day, notice the tiny improvements. It builds up and it grows. And then the last thing, and one of my favorite things, is to highlight the belief that you want to have. And you can do this by using an I am affirmation. So instead of thinking about how you're failing, think about the ideal state. So an example of this one for moms that a lot of my clients use, I am so happy and grateful now that I am a beautiful, powerful, and successful mother, and I'm getting better every single day.
Well done, Kathleen. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.